mean, that will make a good five, then.
Righto, welcome back to the Four Wheel Drive Podcast, driven by Shelter, music by the Southern River Band, Let It Ride, socials, the Four Wheel Drive Podcast on Instagram, all episodes over on BackChat's YouTube, and thank you again to our patrons. And we need some voice messages in, Ronnie. I don't know if the people know it's available to them yet.
We haven't got any yet.
We haven't got any voice messages.
All right, that's it. I'm doing one after this.
I'm gonna encourage our patrons to maybe initiate some of those voice messages for us.
Yeah, get on them.
We're a bit more familiar with them, and maybe they'll just lead the way for our other listeners and audience to jump on board, because I just want to hear the voices of the people that we're...
Yeah. Like, your voice will be played.
Yeah, you get to hear yourself on this show.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't you?
Oh, I'd be doing it. But I did, for the first time, check out how you actually do it. And I thought, I tested Jade and I said, maybe it's a little bit difficult. Like, maybe that's why people aren't doing it. It's not difficult.
Okay. It's not difficult?
Just jump on to BackChat Studios on the website, click on our podcast, and then there's a little microphone button on that page. Fire away and off you go.
I'm going to have to give that a go. Yeah.
If you would like to send in...
Yeah. I'll
question, please.
I'll change my voice up.
Ronnie's going to have like four questions in now.
I feel like we'll be able to pick your voice. And if you do want to jump on Patreon and become a patron for us, patreon.com/the Four Wheel Drive Podcast. Growing in numbers again there.
Where are we at now?
Jaden said we're growing, that's all I know.
We are at 28 total.
Growing.
Almost 30.
Almost 30.
And we're coming up to 50 episodes soon.
Really?
Yeah, the half century.
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. This is...
Wow.
We are
We're going to be on 50 next week.
Next week?
Yep.
Wow.
Jeez.
So this is episode 49.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so this is... Oh, okay, exactly. Yeah, it is too.
What's our word count? Have you got that?
We had the word count?
Yeah.
Too many.
Yeah, probably too many. Hey, let's get straight into this because there's a little bit to get through today. Going to touch on the main topic of today. It's a bit of the Ineos shakedown. I don't want you to answer anything right now.
Oh, yeah.
Mod's Ineos shakedown trip.
To Shark Bay,
How
like a proper trip.
Proper trip. I'm going to park those thoughts though, if you don't mind.
Yep.
We will get back to them. I want to touch on something that's popped up on the radar. Obviously, we love our on the radar. It's become a real centerpiece of our show these days. Now, it's something that you have had a fair bit of experience with and very familiar with. It's the new Toyota 4Runner, or in Australia, the Hilux Surf. Projected, Jaden? Or there's a chance that we'll...
Yes, projected
land on our shores?
Maybe 2025.
Yes.
So it's coming out in 2025, but who knows if it's actually...
Really?
When it's coming to Australia.
Yes.
Yep.
You're saying the 4Runner, the Hilux Surf, is coming back?
It's expected to make a return to Australia. Expected.
Are they carrying the Fortuner?
Well, I know you had an issue with that before. You can't have a Fortuner and a Surf. Why is that?
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. They're a very similar unit.
So who's actually saying it's coming here?
So it's just, there's rumours. There's whispers in the wind. The word on the street is that it's coming back.
Okay.
We were actually surprised you don't have one yet.
Yeah.
The way you've been going the last 6 months.
Well,
No, I've got too many cars.
I mean, it was a great text this morning, wasn't it?
It was a
Duggo?
great text, yeah.
Ronnie, a little bit late to the studio because you were blocked in by your fleet of carriages,
No,
as you called it.
I was talking about the carriages on the freeway.
I actually took that as that the first time, and then when you said the carriages in his wherever he stores his fleet.
Oh, I'll just take the one at the front, right? It's a logical choice.
I thought you were just moving cars because you really wanted to drive this one today, but then maybe tomorrow you wanted to drive the other one, and then the next day. I mean, you've got a car for every week, don't you?
You know what you need? You need a motorbike.
Yeah, well, it's not a bad idea.
I think you need a motorbike just for these little ones where it's like you got to get up early and you got to get out of there. Just jump on your Harley. You'd be good on a Harley, I reckon. I can see you on a Harley.
I could see you on a Harley.
Yeah.
I can't have my arms above my head for too long. I would lose circulation.
Oh, just get one of the Harleys with a lower bar.
Yeah. Anyway, what are we talking about? The 4Runner. Yeah, so it's expected to make a return in Australia. So I don't know about the Fortuner, where that sits, if the 4Runner or the Hilux Surf makes its way here. It's a neat looking vehicle though. It's got a bit of that 250 Prado style to it, like a little bit squared up, and it looks like a nice vehicle. 9 models is
9 models.
What do you mean, like nine different colours, or
Like SR5, TRD Sport,
Wow.
Limited Platinum, TRD Pro, Trail Hunter. There's all these. So I don't know if they will all come out.
Okay. I'm gonna call.
Here we go.
I'm going to put out the fire in this rumor. I don't reckon it's going to happen.
There you go.
I reckon it'll be a Fortuna. The Fortuna came and replaced. Well, after it was a gap of not having the Hilux Surf. It's not going to come here. I don't reckon. I'd love it. I would love for it to come here, but the logic of it coming here just, I don't see it, because why would you then buy a Fortuna? I think what just got me there was you said 9 models.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great for the US market.
Yeah, 9 models is an American thing, isn't it? And the Fortuna's coming in 2026.
A new Fortuna.
Well, again, another rumor, but apparently 2026 a new Fortuna. So
if it doesn't come, then the 4Runner will come. Because it's just it's probably the same thing actually. It's just relabeled, right? It's like
It's saying here.
I mean,
it's got a 2.4 litre turbo petrol 4-cylinder
hybrid
engine. It doesn't say. That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe if this is a hybrid, that's where the Fortuna stays as your diesel vehicle. For now, who knows where that's going?
Interesting.
But I don't know. The one thing that I do like though, if it was to ever come through, and I don't know if this is American or Australian, but the 2 flagship models, the Trail Hunter and the TRD Pro, come in pre-installed with ARB accessories.
Right.
So I don't know, what were we talking about?
the other something else came with a TJM pre-installed.
Yeah.
What was that?
Ford Ranger also.
Ford Ranger.
Was it
ARB?
Right.
Well, actually, I think that's
Triton, wasn't it?
That's where the rumor's coming from.
Yeah.
That's actually jogged my memory.
ARB.
The rumor's coming from, because it's coming with ARB accessories.
Oh, is it? It's an Australian
That's
connection.
the Australian connection between it.
Okay.
So it's like, why would the flagship models be having ARB stuff on it if it wasn't going to be coming to Australia? Like, why would ARB collaborate? I mean, obviously to extend their market into the their market into the US, but
okay,
that's where the rumors are coming from.
One other thing I'll say then is if you get the new 70 series in the UAE, they have different bull bars. They have different OEM. Yeah, they have different OEM parts that we can get here. Because I saw a couple in Venezuela, because Venezuela buy them from the UAE. So they have some that have this bar with a winch inside it. And I wanted to get that for mine.
Yep.
So I called up some of the guys I know from Toyota, various places, and I asked around. And they basically just said, look, in Australia, we have this bull bar. Over there, they can't get that. They have a different bull bar that we can't get here. It's because they make it over there, we make it over here. So the bull bars here, I believe, are not from Japan. The car might be from Japan, but a lot of the accessories are not. So, for example, the roof racks that Toyota use here, they're just rebranded Rhino racks.
Right.
Over there, it'll be different again. So with the ARB connection, I can see how people could try and draw lines, but I reckon they're just drawing lines just to try and hype it up and make it seem like it, as magazines do, because over there, ARB probably have a good stronghold. They want to get into the market over there, which is a clever move, really, because Toyota, a lot of Americans are big fans of Toyota, so I believe that it's just over there that's Toyota USA have teamed up with ARB, but Toyota Australia have not teamed up with ARB.
Right.
I dare say.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a potential. I mean, there are only rumors. It would be very cool to see the Surf back, though.
I hope it comes.
I hope it comes. I you know what I really like is that weird rear window winding down.
I was going to say that.
That's cool. Yeah. Look, I reckon if it does come here, it'll be in the form of a Fortuna. So if
you reckon it'll come with that engine?
Possibly. Oh no, it won't. Shouldn't come with that engine. Depending on what emissions do, and depending on what Toyota have available.
Right.
Because with all these laws that are changing, emission laws or standards, they then have to go, oh shit, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Let's get this. Let's just try this. Throw this in the Australian market, because In America, you can't get the small diesels. In Australia, you can. But that's because over there, they want to try and keep the big diesels in their own, they want to try and keep all the big cars safe, like your F250, your 350, all those. So that's where that difference is. The other difference is if you look at all car manufacturers, and let's just use Toyota as an example because we're already talking about them. You have the Kluger. The Kluger has so many other features that a Prado doesn't have, but a Prado has four-wheel drive. Imagine if the Kluger had four-wheel drive as well. You'd probably get a lot of people not buying a Prado, they'll buy a Kluger because it's got better tech, right?
Yep.
It's more comfortable, yada, yada. The same, and another comparison here will be the Land Cruiser in America. That new Land Cruiser being released. It looks exactly the same as the Prado 250 that's coming here.
Yeah, right.
Same shape, same everything. It's just different motor. So that's where I think the Hilux Surf or the 4Runner, the Fortuner, it's kind of the same thing, just different.
Yep.
Well, I do have some photos for you boys of the new Hilux Surf.
That I would really like to see.
Yeah, it looks weird.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think it looks
Love if
really
that
nice.
came here.
Yeah. I think it looks really, really nice.
I did see these a couple of weeks ago when it was just released.
These
in
are out.
America.
These are
Yeah, we
these
are a
are
bit
rolling
late.
around in America. Aren't
These
they?
are rolling
Yeah.
around in America, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice vehicle.
I know 9 different models. They look cool.
That's I'm assuming that's their it's a TRD Pro. I'm assuming is the
Yeah, I believe so.
best one.
Ooh.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
that is very nice.
That looks
is
good.
cool.
Yeah.
Look how big the tyres are and proportionate to the car,
Looks like it's got a good rim size as well. Really small rims.
Yeah. It looks big.
Nice
the
colour
wheels
too.
look big
I like
on
that.
I really like the green colour.
You like that one, Jaden?
I do. I like that green colour.
I mean, you take any four-wheel drive at the moment, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Ouch. Yeah, I would.
Sorry,
I would.
Sorry,
I
mate.
still got to...
I would. No, that's all right.
Sorry, mate.
No. Take the dig, mate. Take the dig while it's here.
I'm not talking about the dig. I keep forgetting the bloody... get him a price on that gearbox.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ronnie's meant to be looking after.
Ronnie's denying me access to my own fleet.
The
My one vehicle.
What's his
Do you borrow a car?
what's your Toyota? What's your
Up to.
Toyota contact? The Toyota engineer that we do not name.
I can't.
we don't.
I can't reveal his name.
Toyota Man A.
Yeah, no. This will be the other Toyota guy in the parts.
Toyota Man B.
Parts man.
Yeah. I'll try and get some good prices.
He's got a team of people.
He's
at
got a
Toyota.
team. He's got a fleet of people and a fleet of cars. This man's well connected.
All right,
I enjoy
let's
it.
wrap up on the 4Runner Hilux Surf, whatever you want to call it. If it comes, I'd get excited. If it doesn't, I'm not losing sleep over it.
Would you consider buying one?
I had to bust people's balloons, but I really hope it does come here because that looks awesome.
Wicked.
It looks
I would
great.
like to drive that around.
Would you consider buying one like as a future vehicle for yourself, or
Well,
is it
if
something that's like you'd be taking a step backwards?
No, that wouldn't be a step backwards. No way. No, I reckon that'd be cool. It'd be like. Then you'd have to bring in all the other Then you'd have to bring in the Grenadier in that chat. I reckon you'd have to bring in the 76 Auto. Like if you're going to go something like that and way up.
You're putting them all in the same kind of category.
If I'm going a wagon, there's so much selection there. It'd have to.
Yeah.
It'd have to. They would have to have something that set it apart.
I mean, it would make a great addition to a fleet. This could be the weekend.
Well, yeah.
I
Some
assume
of
you've
us
already
aren't
got
so
your
lucky,
name
but
down for it, mate. Like
Jaden's
you've got your
just
name down
looking
for
for
every
one.
car. I'm not even looking for a car. I'm just
What's
looking
a
for a
gearbox?
gearbox, mate.
Can't even get that.
Oh man, don't worry. Soon I'll be down to 2.
All right, let's have a look at this.
let's
Let's
go.
have a look at this little thing you've got coming up
Yeah,
for us,
we've got
Jade.
another
Still on
one.
the radar
So
here. That was an on the radar.
I'll pop
for
up
a
this
while.
image for you boys, and I'm sure you've seen it already. It's a little bit of
I
old
have
news.
not seen that.
But this is on Kagari Island or
Yep.
Fraser Island.
Yeah.
Little Suzuki Jimny with a trailer. Apparently going towards camp, missed their turn off or missed their campsite, went to do a UE, got bogged, and the tide came in before they were able to be rescued.
Jeez, the
And
tide must have been
completely
on the way
submerged.
in when it happened, eh? Like it must have been like.
From what I can see, there were attempts to get it out, but it was too bogged that
So
they weren't able to.
I wonder if that was further closer to the shore, right? And then
the tides dragged it out.
Picked up a bit. Yeah.
Maybe.
It's very unfortunate, eh? It's pretty easy to happen. Like, it doesn't take long. We'll talk about the trip soon, but I actually bogged a Grenadier in a very peculiar position. I got caught out and the tide was coming in. So
great segue, I reckon. Let's roll into that story.
That's an elite segue.
Yeah.
When did you get good at this podcasting thing, mate?
Well, I still wanted to talk because we was talking about this the other day, Jaden, and I thought that was a patrol. Because see how the water makes it look bigger?
It does.
I think we both thought it was a patrol.
It looks like a Jeep there to me.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. Yeah, it does look like a Jeep there, but it's a Jimny, right?
Yeah, allegedly a Jimny. But yeah, no, it was recovered by Fraser Island Towing and Rainbow Beach Towing after the tide had gone down, I think.
Thought the Aussie salvage squad might have got out there.
Can you imagine? They had the submarines out, it was that far out. But apparently it happens a lot. On Fraser Island specifically, on Kagari, apparently it happens a fair bit. That like he just has tourists, it happens to everyone. So if you're on Kagari or Fraser Island, just be careful. Be careful. Yeah, anyway, Ronnie, what do you got?
Yeah, tell us about your bogging.
So, well, I was, just to quickly talk about the bogging, I got to this beach in Crayfish Bay. It's not a very known beach. It's not very frequently travelled. It's a very strange beach as well. Sometimes it can be super hard. Other times it can be super soft. It's a beach that's kind of mixed with heavy sand, like heavy coarse sand, but also shells and like small fragmented shells, like bashed up shells. You could almost say it's half and half.
There's a bit of that up that way, isn't there? A lot of the beaches,
Yeah, so because of this consistency of the sand, and it was all wet as well because, you know, the tides have been a little bit high during this time. The high tide was on its way in. I was on 16 PSI. I drove down to the beach, and then all of a sudden it just all happened at once. It was just like, I was like, wow, okay. And it was just, didn't expect it. No warning of this happening at all. Like, I knew it could be soft.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know, should be fine. So I kept sort of going down, trying to use gravity. And the more I did it, the closer I got to the water. And I was like, it's actually getting worse the closer I'm getting. Right. So it's like, that's it. I'm getting out. And because we were filming at the same time, but I knew it was urgent. So just tried to do it all in the flow. It's just like, look, I can get the max tracks down and put them under, but we need to lower these tyres. So I'm going to lower them down to 10 PSI and then see what happens. If I still need help, then I'll get the max tracks off because I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. Yeah. It's just on my car.
Yeah. So
I lowered the tyres by another 6 PSI, all four corners, and it just started crawling out. And then I could just, because I had the 8-speed gearbox, it was able just to slowly increase, and then I got it out of there. And then Jono's like, oh, I'll go get to 76. I said, no, just go to the next exit because this stretch here is shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to spend another half an hour maybe trying to get another car out.
Yeah.
So he took it down to the other exit. The 76 was able to follow Grenadier out with 6 PSI more in the tyres. The tyres are bigger on the 76. It's lighter.
Yep.
But that's where the weight definitely impacted on that vehicle.
Yeah, so that was the first time that you really felt 3.8 off the floor?
2.7 off the floor.
Sorry.
Yeah, but then we had a lot of gear in it as well.
Yeah.
So we loaded it up.
And the Cruiser's
2.3?
4.
But then, that was loaded up too. But it's just not as heavy as a Grenadier.
Yeah, I've seen where you are too. You're pretty far away.
Yeah, so even to get to that beach, you can come in the other way, but we came in from the we came from the south,
right,
across, and to find that track, this is funny. It is so hard to find this track, right? So I've done it 3 times, so I know. All right, we got to go around the back of the dunes. We got to navigate through. We'll send the drone up. You talk me through as I go, drive through, and then we got there, and then. we're standing there and like we're discussing how we're going to drive down, how we're going to film it. This guy just appears out of nowhere in a yellow shirt. He was like walking up behind Jono. Jono had no idea he was there. He just caught him out at the corner of my eye. I was like, what the fuck?
You're walking.
He was just walking. So he was like, oh, g'day, boys. I was like going to Jono as he was talking, behind you. And he's like, whoa, what the hell? This guy's there.
What are you doing?
So they'd driven along the beach and his old man had got bogged, but he came up to see where he could get down. And I was saying, yeah, you got to go around and all this. And then as we got closer to where we were going to drop down, I was like, oh, you can go straight from the beach up to here. Normally, there's like this drop off, you can't get up there.
Oh, right, so the dunes have shifted.
Yeah, it changes all the time, hey?
Wow.
But this is the third time I've done this, and it was like, wow, could have just driven up the beach, but hey, this is a better story anyway.
Yeah. Same
It was more fun too, you know?
Yeah. So let's break it down then. So you were in the Ineos most of the trip? Where'd you go? Where were you actually?
50-50. Yeah, so Shark Bay. So we left...
So that was your second Shark Bay trip in what?
In a month.
In a month.
Yeah.
Buy a shack up there.
Yeah, that's it. But I went to a different part though.
Right, okay.
So,
yep.
So we left Perth. I drove the Grenadier from Perth all the way to Shark Bay, did the first trip in it, and then drove it to the other part of Shark Bay. Then I took the 76, just to paint the whole picture here.
Yep.
Then I did the other finger, the other peninsula, the Red Peninsula and the White Peninsula, that's how I'll call it. Did that in the 76, and then sort of jumped in between both cars to get a bit of a feel. And then we found a few free camps, awesome free camps. And then we found this hill that I did with both vehicles, up and down. So that was really cool, just to jump from one to the other. So driving it on the way there, I put a dent in the door on the Grenadier.
Ooh, how?
Kangaroo.
Oh, really?
Kangaroo.
I didn't know this.
Came out of nowhere, and I don't have good spread, so there was no warning from the side.
Oh, it's
very
dark.
it's very spotty. Yeah, because we didn't leave till quite late.
Right.
So we were literally 30 kilometers from camp. So we're talking 15 minutes at 110. That's how close we were. It was nearly midnight. We went to the camp under the bridge in the Murchison River. Forgot what it's called. I've stated it so many times I should know what it's bloody called. You'll probably find it. And bang, jumps out in front, and then it hit the side of the door as well. So it hit the whole front, and then somehow came down the side. So I think it's the tail that smashed into the door, or it could have been, I don't know, could have been the head. So it knocked off some stuff underneath the car, which we didn't find out till later. So I'll get to that. And it whipped around and then impacted the door. So very unfortunate for the Kangaroo. The Grenadier now, in honour of the Kangaroo that got wiped out, we've named the Grenadier Skip. So
that's very nice of you.
Yeah, so it's now Skip. Yeah, don't worry. It was a very quick ordeal for him. So, but I've got some photos, which I probably should send you. And
I'll try to put them up on the YouTube.
Yeah,
Skip the Grenadier.
Yeah, so what's the damage report? I'm a bit worried about the Grenadier. Poor Kangaroo. But
well, I found out that the doors are aluminium. I kind of knew that already. So the dents are kind of like very defined.
Right.
It's like on a steel panel, you get this kind of like nice sort of, but these dents, you'd be able to pull them out, but you still be able to, it'll be like aluminium foil. You can still see some crumples, I reckon, if you try to pull it out. But you can replace the door, pretty easy. Most cars, I guess you can. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. I thought there was something going on with the steering afterwards, but I think after the next 30 Ks, I was like, you know what? I think it's just adrenaline.
Yeah, your brain telling you something's going on.
Hypersensitive.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all good. So then we went to Useless Loop Road, one of the most messed up roads you could ever drive on. It is so flipping corrugated. It is shocking. A lot of people sit on it at 110. I recommend sitting on about 80 with a good PSI, and then you get that nice. That's the most comfortable ride you're going to get. But there are some sections, man. Holy shit. the gaps in the corrugations are like this, and they're like that deep.
Yeah, right.
They're like a large can deep. You know, like a big monster Red Bull can.
You would have been right and skip though. Just skip across them.
Yeah, you kind of like
that.
some. Yeah,
Just subtle.
yeah. It's just subtle there. Yeah, like you got that one. Pick that up. Pick that one up.
Didn't get it straight away.
No, but
It is,
I am
but you
now.
got it.
It's not my best.
So you can some sections your contact with the ground is 10% on some corrugations. That's why it's dangerous on corners.
I'm just picturing the Grenadier doing like 360s. Is it like to drive straight down the road?
Well, that's the thing with the Grenadier. It plants itself really well.
Yeah, right.
On corrugations. Not once did I feel like, you know.
Losing control.
Yeah. But look, we were doing reasonable speeds, you know. So we weren't really going over 80 kilometres per hour. It's a long road. It's a terrible road. It handled it quite well. But it probably handled it as well as a 76.
Yep.
Because corrugations go through anything. What it did handle better than a 76 were the big potholes that are there. And you can't really just jam the brakes on corrugations. It gets worse, and then you can kind of unstable the vehicle a bit. So these holes, you just hit them at whatever speed you're doing. And it's just like, woof, woof. You know, it's like, ooh, I barely felt that. But, Jono, there's a pothole coming up, because in the 76, you'd be like,
Yeah, right.
you know, it's so much stiffer. We got the camp at a reasonable time. But then I got stuck taking photos, so it got dark by the time we pulled up.
Can imagine.
Look, that's just getting there,
Classic
man.
Ronnie Dalton.
So that's just getting there. Yeah. So
That's just getting there. But the Grenadier, we took it from false entrance, the fun way, to steep point.
right.
And it was absolutely amazing to drive. Absolutely amazing.
What's the fun way?
The fun way is you hug the coast.
Through the
So
water.
when you get to the air down point, you see the depot sign, and they show you the tracks. They don't show. There's a gap between false entrance and the other side of Crayfish
False
Bay.
entrance, the name of.
False entrance is the name of the southern camp.
Right.
So you can camp at false entrance, or you can camp at steep point, which is called the ovens. Bloody hot in that little bit. Or you can camp at Shelter Bay. So there's 1, 2, 3 spots.
Right.
There's a vast difference span between those two. So if you do it, you have to go the whole way if you want to camp. And you have to pre-book your camp.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's that stretch. Normally they would say you have to go in and around and then go down. They don't recommend that you even go down on Crayfish Bay, even though the track takes you there. But the track actually goes all the way to false entrance, but it kind of disappears in the dunes because it keeps shifting. So the track is there. It's just this kilometre stretch you have to find yourself.
Right.
And that's the fun part. And when you go down, when you find that stretch and you get down to the track, often you can't get back up. It's a one-way. This time you possibly could. Like it was possible with a lot of work, perhaps. So we went down, committed ourselves, and then kept going.
Right.
It's a wicked spot. This was probably the easiest it's been to find the track, and the easiest it's been to get there, apart from getting bogged on that beach, because the beach really caught me out. And then getting off the beach can be a bit gnarly too. This depends on where the sand's blown, because it's got this rocky bit you got to climb up. It's right on the edge. Beautiful area though. So from there we just there's like Thunder Bay. False entrance, Crayfish Bay, Thunder Bay, and then you got the cliffs, and it's kind of a bit like the Baxter a little bit.
Yep.
But it's just like the red Baxter.
Yeah. Right.
The colours are amazing there. You know, you got this. It's more like turquoise water and dark blue. There's not really in between. It's either turquoise or it's just dark.
Yeah. Right.
Like angry surf blue. It's cool.
Pretty untouched out there, isn't it? Like it's.
Yeah, I
there's
think,
not,
yeah.
There's not really
Not many.
settlements or like there's
No.
just untouched coastline, rugged.
Yeah, it's rugged. Definitely rugged, man. It's you got to watch out. You can't walk around barefoot unless you got hobbit feet.
Tough. So what's the when we drove the Grenadier, Jade and I, we took it out to the hills there.
Yeah.
What are the mods now? Because I haven't seen it since.
Oh mate, I wish I drove it here this morning so you could see it. It's
You sent a photo and it looked tougher.
oh mate, it's like I just gave it some steroids, you know.
Right.
It just looks awesome. It's like the wheels look better now because they're 17-inch and they're very like out there. They look like Pursuit rims, but they're like full drive rims and they're black. And then you got these nice mud tyres around them. And because they're 17s and the tyres are just under 34s, from the tread to the side biters to the riding on the tyre to the rim, it's just all happening. There's no real gap. It looks awesome. There's enough gap for it to lower tyres and stuff. There's no problem there because they're down to 10 PSI. And so the fuel problem, I sorted that out. I found these pods online. So there's this place called Expedition HQ. They mainly work on these massive world touring trucks, you know, those big trucks. You know, like I think Canters are like baby trucks to them, but the big man trucks and the crazy shit. Yeah. So from that, and then they also do Ineos Grenadier. These tiny little cars.
Niche market.
Yeah. So I think Ineos contacted them, and then they're kind of specifically doing stuff with that car. Right. And on the side you got that Douglas track or L track, those black things. Yep. So I've got something for both sides. It hooks onto the top where the handles are, and you fix it there, and then it goes into the L track. And then on one side I got 30 litres of fuel that has an electric pump. So you don't have to take it off.
Well, it comes standard with the
product.
Really?
No, it's an addition.
Oh, okay.
But it's made so you can work it.
Yeah, and you can buy that through that.
Yes.
Expedition.
You buy it as a kit.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So you can get it without, or you can get it with. Yeah.
That's really cool.
The other side has a pantry and another jerry can, so you can have water. But we decided to put fuel in it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So you had how much? So 30 litres of fuel on both sides.
So 50 in total, 30 and 20.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. Which takes your total to with a full tank
150.
Right.
Yeah, no, 140, sorry. 140.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Yeah, 140. So the 76 has 130. That now had 140. But we wanted to try and get it from Billabong Roadhouse to False Entrance, which is 200 Ks roughly. Then to Steep Point along the coastline. Steep Point being the most westerly point of Australia, by the way. That's why I wanted to take it there.
Yep.
So it's like on the edge of Australia, mainland. And then take it all the way back up to Denham to refill. Couldn't make it to Denham on its 90 litres.
Right.
So the 30 litres definitely got it there.
Yep.
That's what I wanted to see if it could do it.
Yeah, right.
It uses slightly more fuel than the 76 on-road. Off-road, it uses quite a bit more fuel than the 76.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was your numbers fuel-wise?
I still got to calculate those.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm still working on this project. But I believe we had the 76 at 19 litres per 100, and the Grenadier was like nearly 22 litres per 100.
Really?
Yeah, because with the off-road aspect, it just seems to drink a lot.
Yeah, right.
But then I was driving it, and Jono was driving the 76. He's a bit lighter on the pedal than I am.
Right.
And I'm putting it through its paces and testing it. So, and then when we swapped over, I was obviously being a lot harder on my own car.
Yeah.
And he was being feather foot in the other one, So
yeah, okay.
But something interesting he said, right? We're driving through Shark Bay on that side, and I said to him, if you jumped out of a helicopter right now, or you woke up here and you didn't know where you were, where do you think you'll be? And he says, Morocco.
Morocco?
And I was like, Morocco?
Has he been there before?
No, but he says like he's seen stuff on. Yeah. And then it's like, because I keep driving behind that Grenadier, it looks so European. It's giving me Morocco vibes.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, oh, that's bloody interesting.
I'll probably picture that actually.
That's bloody interesting.
Did you put a roof rack on?
Yes. Oh, holy shit, that's wide, eh? It is so wide.
Oh, wide?
Wide, man.
Well, it sits outside the car.
No, it sits within. It's just a wider car.
So you're just finding you got more space up there to throw stuff on it.
Yeah, because I was climbing up in the 76 and loading that up. And I think Jono was loading up, because this is when we were loading up and going. I think he was more on top of the Grenadier before we left.
Yep.
But then I was driving the Grenadier, and then when I went to get I couldn't see at night, but when the next morning I put the swag back up, I was like, holy shit, this thing's bloody wide.
Yeah, right.
It's like got an extra foot over the 76. This is what it feels like on the roof. It's just, which is really interesting. I think if you look at the back of the cars, the Grenadier is just like whoop straight up. the 76 is kind of like comes in a bit, like most cars, right? There were some slight issues. So the Kangaroo, obviously, the door, so it had hit the dust cover on the steering dampener, and we started hearing this chingling and rattling. It was driving us nuts. We were trying to, is it on the roof?
Yeah.
Where is it? Because it just, on corrugations, everything makes noise, right? Turns out it was just the dust cover had been smashed off, so nothing structural.
Yep.
It's just the dust cover, and this thing just kept like the corrugations. You cannot stop it. You can try and put it back on, or try to wedge some rubber in. It comes off again.
Yeah, right.
So
you had to put up with it.
Yeah, I had to put. You don't really hear it in the car so much.
Oh, right.
But when you're outside the car and it comes up to you, that's when you hear it.
Yeah, okay. Oh, you guys, I suppose you'd get that a lot while you're filming, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because there's always someone outside the car.
Yeah, there's always someone outside the car. So
that's just the background stuff that you wouldn't like.
Yeah.
I don't think about.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. But I had a great trip because we were supposed to have a photographer with us, but I love photography. That's my thing.
Yep.
So I'm ahead. Jono's coming up because I've passed him for a shot, or I'm just ahead because I know where we're going. I'll be out smashing photos of whatever car he's driving towards me, and some of the shots I got with the moody light was just awesome. There's been a few on the Instagram I put up.
Yeah, Duggo wouldn't see those.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't actually.
Lucky you.
I can picture it though.
Yeah, you can see it in your eye.
I can picture it. So
I'll show you after.
Yeah. So after that first solid trip with it, again ticking all your boxes.
Mate, ticking all the boxes. So the next day we didn't we got halfway between because all the camping was booked out at Steep Point and Shelter Bay.
Yep.
So we got to free camp on the way to Denham, and the next morning I had to fill the car up. One thing I will say about the Grenadier, when you're on low fuel, holy shit, it reminds you all the time.
Oh, really?
It's pretty annoying. So that's one thing that's annoying about the car.
Right.
So because it has such a small fuel tank, so I'd even locked the car at camp, man, and it was like that noise that comes. I can't mimic the noise. It's got this unique noise.
Sure, you want to try?
Yeah. I'll give it a shot.
I don't know, boom, something like that.
That's perfect.
It's really loud, and it's like, I fucking know you're low on fuel. I'm not going to fill you up now. Like, I'm pretty much camping on a beach here. So the next morning I went to try and fill it up, but I was slowly cracking that diesel open, and then it started dripping out, and I was like, oh, shit. Okay, so we have to park on an angle because I'd filled it up to the brim, right? So if you are going to go this system on the side, don't fill it to the brim. Sacrifice that 5 litre space so you can just park it wherever you want and then drain it in.
Right.
So I had to park it on such an angle because I was like, look, I'm not going to spill diesel on the beach, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and then like you're also trying to film doing it. And I'm like, nah, let's go out to the highway because if we drop a little bit of diesel, I don't feel so guilty.
Yeah. So, looking after the environment, I rate that.
Yeah, it's just like pristine beaches, you know. You just don't want to do it. Got it drained in pretty good. So once I worked it out, I had to move the car 4 times before I could actually drain it in.
Yeah, okay. Yep. And did you have the family this trip?
No.
So there wasn't a full car.
No, it wasn't. Well, that's the thing, right? So when we head out on a trip, the cars are full of camera gear.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You know, because we bring everything.
Yeah.
You know, we bring backups. If this camera breaks, we got this, you know. We always bring too much gear.
Yeah.
But you never know when you need it. The lighting, how many cameras? Like 5 GoPros, big cam with a shoulder rig that takes up this massive bag. It's actually quite heavy. And then I had DSLRs, lenses, and then we had the other Sony A7. So it's drone, so many things, you know.
So if you needed to take the family though and have all that camera gear as well,
it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
So in that case, I'll bring a DSLR, which I can get a bit of video on. I'll use my phone and a couple of GoPros and a drone.
Okay. Are you happy with the space in the Grenadier?
Oh,
at the end of the
ample.
Okay.
Ample. So what we did was when we swapped cars, when we swapped cars like proper, it was like, all right, half the camera gear out of this, swap with the other, because that's what he uses, that's what I use. And then clothing bags, swags off the roof, swap over. So it's a bit of a whole change. And then like all your personal stuff out of the car there, because when you're driving for ages, you just want to reach in your bag because you know where your beef jerky is or whatever. So you can just keep munching away, you know?
yeah, right. That's good.
Yeah, so the Grenadier, heaps of space. In the back, it definitely looked more tidy than a 76. That's because 76, you know, we're just jamming stuff in. And yeah. But I think it was great. We set them up pretty similar so we could really see the difference. We had a 40-litre tank inside the back of the Grenadier, which was great until it was like half full. Then it was so annoying. Slosh, 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 slosh.
Yeah, right.
It was so annoying. Yeah.
I'm happy with that. Ineos ticking boxes.
Yeah, I don't want to compare them too much yet.
Yep.
To the 76.
Yeah. But eventually.
Because, I'm still getting my head around a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But they're very similar in so many ways.
So that is the comparison, though.
Yeah, they're very similar in so many ways, which is why they're worth comparing. Right? But look, fantastic vehicle. The dust stayed out of the car, which was great.
Yep.
One other thing I must mention, though, a slight issue. When we put the bigger tyre on the back, it pulls on the door a little bit. So not so much on corrugation, but when you hit a big hole or you take off really fast, the door obviously flexes slightly at the top and it's just enough. It's a very sensitive door sensor. It would just flash on the thing, give you this sound, and you're like, before you know it, what was that? What's wrong? But then you see it. You pay attention to it and you see it. So the door, I think it just needs a little adjustment, which we tried to do, but we couldn't really work it out. So we'll leave it to them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's only if you fit the bigger tyre, because you got 34s on it.
Yeah, almost 34s, yeah. I thought they were nearly 35s, but I miscalculated. So they're 33.8, so it's a 34.
Yep.
Right.
I mean, like a 315 75 R16 that I have on the other cars, that's just shy of a 35. But everyone calls them a 35. That's like a 34.6.
Yep.
Yeah, so. And we round up.
Yeah. We always round up as
up.
blokes, you know.
We round up.
Yeah, the fish was this big, you know.
It was huge.
Yeah.
Close to the camera.
Yeah. And it's a 2-inch lift, correct? Sorry.
It's a 40 mil.
40 mil.
So slightly less than 2 inches. It made a
which
huge...
we like to round up to 2 inch.
Yeah.
2 inch. Exactly right.
Doggo
gets it.
It definitely needed the lift because it looks like a really low car, but it surprisingly has a lot of clearance.
Yeah, I was shocked by that when we drove it. I was like, this thing is almost touching the ground already.
Yeah.
But
and yet it clears
once.
everything, didn't bottom out.
Yeah. But now, like, it looks like a proper full drive. It handles exactly the same. The steering is slightly more adjustments, but I think maybe because of the mud terrains, bigger tyres, you change the geometry a little bit by lifting it a bit.
Yep.
But all we had to do was just change the springs. You didn't have to put shocks or anything in it.
Yeah.
Or the shocks compared to the 76 did get very hot
right.
on the corrugation. Like,
how are you knowing that? Are you just touching it?
Yeah. We stopped. We grabbed the shocks.
I'm just to I know that.
Yeah, no,
that was
I thought the same thing.
Just asking a novice question. There. Is there some like gauge that you've got, or no? You just touch it.
That's your hand.
Just
so
hand,
yeah,
hand gauge. Yeah.
We often touch the hubs, touch the shocks, just to see. You just got to be careful if you know you've been on a lot of corrugation.
What is it? It's just like, that burned off more skin than the other one.
Well, no.
Those are 3rd degree, not 2nd degree burns.
If you burnt off skin, you're like, yeah, we got a problem.
And I've done that before. So. I reckon you've got more problems than hot shocks.
I've done that before. I literally burnt my hand on my 79 series on a beach once because I heard this freight train noise coming from one wheel. So I went to check the hub. It was so hot you could almost hit a singe, I reckon. I ran around to the other side, cooled my hand down on the other one. I'm not kidding.
Jeez.
And then I was stuck for 3 days with a blown bearing.
And no skin on your hand.
Yeah. And look, before we wrap this up, just to explain how rough Useless Loop Road is. Anyone who's been on it, I don't have to explain. You know how shit that road is. But for those who don't, there were 2 trailers out there that were stuffed.
Oh,
Yeah.
left behind.
Oh, just like tyre was, the rim and everything was squished in. It was like, it looked like someone had just gone and just chucked it there, you know?
Yeah, right.
So that was there with all brand new King's gear all over it, you know? It's just sitting there. So obviously old mate had to go, oh shit, go back into town, get some parts, come back. And then by the time we left, he collected it. But that road can ruin your trip. So don't take a stock trailer down this track.
Yeah, okay.
You know, because there was 2 trailers that time.
Yeah, right. Good intel. I reckon it's time
Great
for
intel.
Around the Fire Pit. Brought to you by insert someone. You can jump on board.
Get on it.
You can
Oh, I
have,
thought you
can
were
have-
about-
Wow.
I was like, oh.
No, he got me
have-
there as well. I was like, holy shit, I don't know.
No, you can have this segment if you know if someone wants this segment.
It's available.
It's available. Around the Fire Pit, brought to you by,
So is the radar.
and the radar's available.
If you want something
If you
higher
just-
up.
If you want, I don't know. It's
Nah,
up
well-
to you. But
Yeah.
Well.
I thought, I didn't know about this.
nah,
Run
it's
sheet.
all right.
No, he's a good businessman, Doggo.
Yeah, doing my best.
He's very good at
Um,
that.
I'd been thinking
You've
about
had
it
a
for
few
the last
compliments.
13 minutes, I reckon. Going, like, when I go to Around the Fire Pit, I'm going to go brought to you by.
So that's what's been ticking in the brain.
And then, yeah, so that's why I've
Right.
been a little bit switched off there. So,
No. You switched on.
useless loop, quality road, apparently.
Brought to you by Useless
Yeah, you
Loop
heard that.
Road. Very fitting name.
Okay, so we got a bit.
Oh, I'm shutting up.
We got a bit in the fire pit. Hopefully you guys can hear
Obviously
that.
directed at Ronnie,
Well,
mainly.
so this one from Left Coast Overland 8750. Still waiting for my shout out, Jaden.
There it
And
is.
yes, shout out, mate. He did. He called the Ineos Grenadier that was the car a while ago.
Oh, he guessed it.
He's been pushing for it since the beginning of the pod, since our first episode. So well done, mate.
Yeah.
You did get it. You're right. We had a few
trying
comments on the.
No, he's not.
Oh my! Yeah, actually, that's a warm beer,
It's
mate.
warm. And it's
It's
got,
alcohol free.
it's warm, non-alc.
I'm running dry.
This is usually a bit of set dressing, but no, mate. I mean, shelters are that good. You can just go for them whenever, warm or
They're
not.
even
It's
good
not
in the
bad
morning.
warm.
No, it'd be
Not-
fine.
not
It's just
try.
like when cold beers. So we had a few comments saying that obviously you're talking about the eight speed gear in the.
Sorry, 7:38 in the morning.
One before 8.
No one needed to know what time it was, mate. No one knows. So we had a few comments saying that you can get the 8-speed gearbox change here in Australia for the 76 series for 35k.
35k.
Around 35k. Oh. There was a few comments saying that you can.
Wait, sorry. You can get the 8-speed gearbox put into a 76.
Yes,
So that'll include the tune and everything. So
it's something like I've done no research into it. There's just been a few comments saying that you can do that for the 76 series.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I haven't done my due diligence on that one.
Okay.
Sorry.
So-
and if I get that wrong, please correct me in the comments.
Send a voice message in.
Yeah, send a voice
Yeah.
message in. Actually, screw the comments. I don't want to read your comments ever again.
So-
Send me your voice.
My response to that comment, comparing the 2 vehicles, I felt that you could be in high range for longer in the 76 compared to the Grenadier, but that's fine because the Grenadier low range is phenomenal. So any speed above 30 in the 76, I'll just go straight to high range and it handles it really well. So in that sense, I don't see myself ever spending 38 grand on a 8-speed gearbox. And even if someone offered me that gearbox and all that, I'll be like, nah, I don't want to do that because I don't want to tell people, hey, you should do this 38 grand. You know, it's not going to improve the car that much. For 38 grand, nah.
Yeah, well, I don't know the exact price. That was just what
Yeah.
some
But
people were saying. But
yeah.
it'd be around that. Like, sure,
Yeah.
there's no way to be cheap
Nah.
to do that.
You could buy another car for that.
But
Absolutely.
I think
Good one
it's. I think people just wanted to let you know that it was an option.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
you go.
Thank you.
So just in case you didn't know,
It is good to know.
there was another one. Brown Davis make a 68 litre or auxiliary tank for the Grenadier, which gets your fuel capacity up to 158 litres. This one in from Joe Cass 12.
Yep.
Don't know if you've
So
looked
the-
at that. I assume you have.
The reason why I didn't go that that line is because it's not my car. If I put a fuel tank on it, which will cost me, I don't know how much, that is now on the car. I'm not going to be removing that. So I did the fuel in the other way on the sides. But the other reason why I went that way is to show people that, okay, if you don't need fuel range all the time, get the fuel pods, because these things you can take off any time you want. So you only put them on for a trip.
Yep.
Because they are a bit of a hindrance for your mirrors.
Oh, yeah, can't get past them.
Yeah, on the left side, because the pantry's there, because it hangs down lower than the fuel pod. On the other side, it kind of blocks your mirror. It's like almost towing a caravan.
Right. Yep.
The other side's fine because you can see under it. And you got to be mindful coming out of car parks and garage doors because it does stick out a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
So...
You've had an experience with garage doors?
Yes. In a couple of different ways. Once with a forklift too. Yes. Cost me $5,000.
Just stay away from garage doors, please, mate. We actually had another one. Brian Pike. G'day from Boston, Massachusetts,
Wow.
USA. Ooh. He says he's going to get
my favourite American accent, I reckon, is the Boston accent.
Boston. That was terrible.
That's what we need on a phone call.
Yeah, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah. He says, I totally will need to get a Wombat vanity plate for my Grenios.
Grenios? Oh, like
apparently it's his spirit animal, and he says thank you for the test drive commentary. So he's going to get the Wombat. You remember how we were talking about that a couple of episodes ago? The Wombat. He's going to do it. So I told him, please send a photo if you do, mate.
Yeah,
and I thought this was just a funny reply. People's Champ 7258 replied, heads up, Wombat in the United States stands for Women Mountain Bike and Tea Society. Been around since the 80s. Ah. So we can change it.
Means, like.
No, we can change it. It doesn't mean that anymore.
Wombat.
Yeah. Take over the word.
I'd love to see what sort of tracks the Grenios is hitting out of Boston.
I like how he's like the Grenios.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Grenios.
Yeah.
Rolls off the tongue, doesn't
it? And then skip and Wombat.
That's a way better shortening than what we came up with. It was Granny. Yeah, the Granny.
Granny's pretty Aussie though, isn't it? Like palmy.
It's very close to Granny, you know.
Granny.
I don't mind Granny.
Yeah, I don't mind Granny.
That works.
Don't mind it.
Yeah,
Grenios works.
But Grenios works better.
Yeah. So I was going to read this out for a later fire pit, but it actually fits really well. Tom Dixon, Patreon member.
Tommy.
Which foreign destination do you guys want to visit? I went to Morocco in 2006, and I'm going back with my Grenadier this year.
And you can guarantee that Ronnie didn't.
Morocco is a four-wheeling paradise, and Ronnie would have no idea because he doesn't look at the run sheet.
So he wouldn't have known there was a connection there.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either, to be honest.
But there you go. Because as soon as you said Morocco, I was like, Morocco. That sounds familiar. And then I remembered old mate Tommy Dixon sent this one in.
Yeah,
apparently, cool. Morocco, four-wheeling paradise. So
what was the question? What?
So what foreign destination do you guys want to visit?
In a four-wheel drive sort of thing?
Yeah. Four-wheel driving, I would assume.
Okay, well,
I want to
visit Morocco.
There you go.
Yeah, because they have a lot of dunes.
Yeah.
I love navigating dunes. That's my thing. Like if I have to go from A to B and there's no track, there's dunes. Yep. Yeah. I'll be like a prospector, just stuck out there. Where's Ronnie? Somewhere in the desert.
He's poor.
Well, apparently Shark Bay is like Morocco, reminiscent of Morocco. Yeah. As long as you have a Grenadier out there.
According to Jono. Who hasn't been to Morocco.
Well, that's actually a good point. It looks like Morocco for someone who's never been.
Yeah. I reckon New Zealand would be sick in a four-wheel drive. Not too far from home.
Yeah.
But I reckon, imagine doing an Africa trip. That'd be cool. That'd be a
Morocco's in Africa.
It is, yes. We could go top corner to bottom corner. I reckon that'd be an unreal trip.
It'd be a great journey.
It'd have to be really, really...
Scares me a bit.
Well, the wildlife out there that you could be camping next to is just...
You just get eaten by a lion.
Everyone thinks Australia's real scary, but I feel like we've got nothing on other countries like that.
I kind of feel like if you were South African or African, you might think like, everyone thinks our country's scary, but it's fine.
Yeah, that's probably true.
It's just because we're not there.
You can't get eaten by lions, though.
I think I'd be more scared of like some of the countries where there's wars than the animals. Or like hippos. Don't get any hippos.
Yeah, they're the most brutal, apparently.
Yeah. But to be honest, everything in Australia tries to freaking eat you, though.
Yeah, but they're not small. Like, they can't swallow you whole.
No, but they'll just kill you slowly.
Yeah, I know.
Like torture, like flies that bite.
And there might be something that, like, they can sneak up on you without you knowing and get you in Australia, whereas you're going to see a hippo running at you.
Yeah.
But I just feel like
you can't run away from it.
They're things that I definitely can't fight off in Africa.
What are you fighting off here?
Well, if I saw a snake, at least I'd have like
you'd have a chance.
Slight
You'd have a fighting
chance.
chance.
So like
you could run from a snake.
Kick it.
Oh, you can
really,
kick it.
There's a fighting chance. If I can't
Hippo.
kick a lion.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
With a snake,
Bite my foot off.
closed shoes, long pants, like especially with jeans, a snake can't actually bite through that.
Yeah.
They've only got 4 mil fangs.
I think we're forgetting about crocodiles.
Crocodiles, 100%.
The old salties.
But they're only in certain parts. But look, and I'm just thinking, like,
At a waterhole near you.
laying in your swag.
Coming soon.
Laying in your swag, like in Australia, I don't know what exactly is going to get you.
Yeah, so
If you've zipped it up perfectly and there's nothing in there, like, I know that we've heard stories on this podcast of things going wrong.
I don't know if I shared this one here, but there was a guy. It was Willair Creek in a swag. He was up a fair way from the river. A croc came up, grabbed his swag, and started dragging him down, and he's kicking and screaming in the swag.
See, that's scary. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like over there there's just a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
They're bigger.
They're bigger. They could just step on you and you're in trouble.
Yeah.
They might not even know you're there and they just step on you.
I mean, yeah. And they could probably knock your car over.
Yeah.
Oh, like elephants and stuff.
Crocodile's not doing that.
Anyway, I'd love to do it still.
Yeah,
but I'd want to be
still
there
be
with
cool.
someone that knows exactly what's going on.
Still be cool. Yeah, we actually do have a few listeners in Africa and South Africa. So,
My uncle rode a bike through Africa, a push bike actually, from top to bottom.
see.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
On a push bike.
On a push bike. Yeah.
Your uncle sounds like a maniac.
He's well travelled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty
That's very
epic,
cool.
yeah.
That's really sick.
Yeah.
So
Got some good photos.
I'm picturing someone who's got a lot of sun, just standing there. He's got like this, like the Dakar hat on, holding his push bike here.
He actually had to leave. He had to leave halfway through the his journey because COVID hit, and it wasn't so much the disease that was like he just kind of got pushed out a little bit of Africa because it was sort of at the time wherever he was, I'm not sure, but it was seen as a white man's disease in this space at that time, and it sort of started to become a little bit unsafe for him, so he had to duck off.
Yeah, okay.
We met some really good people wherever he was, and they held his bike for him, and
he came back
he came back and finished it. Yeah.
Oh, way. Has this been documented, or I feel like I've heard this before?
It's not. Nah, he's not that type. He's pretty,
okay.
Yeah. But he's done plenty of travel, but that's a pretty epic trip. I reckon.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
On a bike.
On a pushy. Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't do it on a pushy.
Nah.
Maybe a motorbike. Yeah, e-scooter. I'd e-scooter through South Africa.
Segway.
Yeah, I'd do that.
Segway. Oh my god, that'll take so long.
You're just on a 45-degree angle going through South Africa. No, thank you.
The coffee shop.
Anyway,
Have we got
moving on.
any more stuff?
We do have more.
Oh, we got more stuff.
We got more stuff.
Jeez.
That's all right. We get sidetracked. This one from Littman's Living Life. Can you do the Holland track with a camper trailer? We have 2 young kids and need a camper for them. Part 1. And also, what are the best free camps close to Perth? Something within a few hours that are good for 2 or 3 night trips. I had a look at Wiki Camps, but couldn't find anything that was suitable with kids.
Okay. Answer the first question. Yes, you can 100% take a trailer through there. Just don't do it when it's just been opened after being wet, or it's almost at the point of closing because it's so wet. They usually close it when it's too wet, so don't worry too much. Stay out of the mud and you'll be fine. Heck, I'd tow a caravan through that one if anyone's willing to lend me a caravan to do it. It might not look the same, but I reckon the caravan will go through there pretty easy. With a bit of negotiating on some corners. No, you'll be absolutely fine. The other question...
You're a real caravaner now, aren't you?
No, as like a bit of a like a hybrid thing as a challenge.
Sounds like you just want a caravan.
Yeah.
Like
actually, you know what? I don't want to do that now because I'm encouraging other people to take caravan through Holland Track. Don't do that.
Can't back out now.
Camper trailer.
It's too late,
definitely.
mate.
But I'm always up for a challenge. So places to camp outside Perth, I'd say Wilbinga.
Yeah.
But
Are you actually allowed to camp in there? Or does everyone just do it?
it's tolerated.
Yeah, okay.
It's listed in a lot of maps as you can camp.
Yeah.
You know, there are some places in state forests you can as well. Along the Blackwood, there's a few spots. The fisheries may come in and say hello, so don't worry, as long as you're not doing anything wrong. You know, they're pretty full on through there. They'll just pop in and go check if you got any marron netting or anything like that. I'm a terrible fisherman, so I never got anything to worry about.
Yep.
And yeah, look, there's some places around. It's just, how do you find these places? That's a good question. So if you got kids with you, you can generally get away with places where it's kind of like a grey area where you can camp. That's how I see it. But if you're a bunch of blokes and, you know, there's like a bit of unruly behaviour, that's when places sort of get like bollarded and shut or whatever. Free camp, there's not too many free camps. There are some camps down at, what's it called, Wangaran. I used to free camp there, but they're now been taken over by Depot. But you can book them, and they're actually great spots. But they don't allow you to take a camper trailer down there, even though I've towed all kinds.
So that one is Vannies?
It's the one after Wedge.
Right.
It's near Grey, so it's between Wedge Island and Grey.
Yeah.
Look, even the stretch through Wedge, like if you had your fishing rod out all night, somewhere away from the shacks, obviously, you know, you're fishing all night, right? Wink. Look, it's just
there is a lot of grey area spots, isn't there? Where it's like you're going to be able to pull up there and probably, like you say, if you're not doing anything unruly or like you're not making a massive mess, and it's you're kind of popping in for 2 nights. I feel like there's plenty of spots around where you can hide away, and not encouraging you to camp where you're not meant to.
No.
But if it doesn't say don't camp there, then
usually you have a sign saying don't
no
camp.
Camping.
Yeah, there's actually Collie down at Collie. There's Wellington Dam on the southeastern side. It's free camp. There's so much space. Even New Year's Eve and Australia Day, the place doesn't even get that packed. That's a good place to go because it's kind of too far away from Perth just to go for an overnighter. But that's a great spot to go for 3-4 nights. We've done it quite often. There's freshwater lake. You can kayak. No one's hooning around in boats or anything, so your kids aren't going to get, you know, they're not really at risk by propellers and yobbos. It's a pretty good spot. Yeah. There is a lot of rubbish around, usually after those things, because a lot of people just, I don't understand it, but after those events, there's always like rubbish and stuff around. So there is a little bit of that, but it's a good spot. It's free. Other than that, you kind of got to just play it by ear. You'll know you'll get a good feeling if you should or shouldn't camp there.
Yeah. I like that. We've got a couple more. We'll just smash through these. Bradley, hey guys, have any of you ever hired a car just to test drive it? No.
Yes, the Grenadier. I kind of hired that.
I thought about it though plenty of times. But
yeah,
I
it's a
just
good
don't
option.
want to get stuck with like the whole drove it and just, you know, then you get the sales person.
Yeah.
Keep following up, keep checking in. It's like, actually, mate, I was just there to. I just wanted to see what it was like. I'm not actually interested in buying it. So that's probably the reason I haven't. I really want to do it with a Ram or a big American truck.
Yeah. So some cars, I really do think you need to have it for a while to see a full drive, to see how to go off road. Honestly, you're not going to know until you had it full. Like the Grenadier is a good example. Having it one day off road, you can't even talk about it. You don't know shit. You got to have it for a couple of days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, because there's so much stuff in it, you know, you don't get the feel on corrugations and sand dunes and rocks and ruts and long distance travel and all that. You can't get that unless you drive it for a while. Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. And just a little bit of feedback. Oscar Mooney, I've got a projector jump starter, and it's the greatest product in that category that I've ever used. After jumping the car, you just leave it connected for 30 seconds and it recharges itself. I've never had to physically plug it in and recharge it. Only downside is that it struggles to jumpstart a fully dead battery.
Right. What size, does it say what size he's got?
No, it doesn't say what size he's got.
That'd be good to know.
Probably just the standard 12 volt type one. But yeah, I thought it was just a bit of interesting feedback.
You got it.
Because I was asking for that at least.
I don't know who I was talking to about this. It wasn't you guys, but like how much like a really aesthetic display on your website, or like how much that can help in selling a product, and then like the projector layout on their web design and all that sort of thing. Just you can tell it's going to be a good product. So it's actually nice to hear like that it is, because they've sold it really well. I reckon if you found out about projector
design
and you
is
jumped online,
heaps,
you're like, oh, this is a good product.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I don't know. Yeah, I was talking about what that can do for your company or your business when you're selling it really well, and then if you back it up with a really decent product, then it's obviously a good combo.
Yeah.
Nice to hear that it does its job.
It's a good point you brought up there, Duggo, because if I look online and I see something and I don't really have much explanation about it, you don't feel comfortable.
Nah.
Especially if it's technology. So what I feel that helps me decide, because this will get me straight to a yes or no, is you have a step-by-step coloured sort of images and some really short writing on how to use it, how to activate it, and then like the main features, and then list the other fluff features.
Yeah.
That way you know straight away, okay, cool, this is what it is. But then also show it in different environments.
Yeah.
If you are going to say it's rated to this and this, show it in different environments.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, it's actually the same for me on either Marketplace, Gumtree. If I'm looking for something secondhand, I'm not expecting professional photography on, you know, the beer can that they're trying to sell or like whatever it is, but a well-written description of what the item is, maybe what it's been through, or and this is going to sound really fussy and posh, but like well-written, sort of everything there, grammatically correct, like that helps me want to look further into that, you know, that person, what they're selling, even if it's an extra $100 on top of the ad over here that's just not presented really well. Yeah. It's funny. I don't know what it is. I don't know if everyone's like that.
Interesting.
But I've probably been sucked into that.
Okay.
A little bit.
So you want to sell something to Duggo, right up really nicely.
Yeah, I reckon.
Chat GPT.
Like, sell it to. Like, yeah. You will do whatever. You fool me. But I reckon that helps a lot. Like if I'm looking at I've been looking potentially to get the sports bars back on the Ute, just seeing if there was something around.
Oh yeah.
I probably won't, but I was. Yeah. And there was one like for free, but it just wasn't like it just didn't tickle. But then there was one for like $50, and I felt better about it for some reason because the ad was better.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was just like, it was weird.
Interesting.
I think you get tricked into thinking that like, you know, if it costs more money, it must be better.
Yeah, you
as
can,
well, right?
Yeah.
Like if it's free and it's written horribly, then you're like, far out. This is dodgy as anything.
Yeah,
and that might be there's no way
example,
this is.
That's where I'm trying to get at. Yeah,
it's a bit like the old potato situation they had in Ireland, back in the day. No one wanted potatoes because they thought they were poisonous or something was spread around. So the farmer put a fence around his potato farm, and they're like, "Oh, he's protecting his potatoes. We want potatoes."
Yeah, right. Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah,
that's a really odd story. But
I think that's a perfect analogy to leave it on there.
Anyway,
I think we're done with the fight
bit of a hot finish there.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a.
Hot as in.
As in like that could be. I don't know if people. Maybe no one's like me, but that I feel like that could be a little tip there if you're trying to get.
A little bit of advice.
Yeah,
but
take it.
Doesn't matter how well you write it though. You put everything there. You even put the size. You're still going to get someone calling, someone messaging. Is it still available? What's the size of it?
Yeah.
Read the fucking ad, mate.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe don't even bother. Well, just put it up there and wait for the questions to come in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get what you're saying, though. Yep.
Yeah.
No, I agree with it as well.
Well presented
Should we wrap this one up?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, I think
See you out.
I feel happy.
Happy days.
Listeners, hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, I suppose the Southern River Band will see us out. You know where to find us. Full Drive Podcast on Instagram. Episodes over on BackChat's YouTube. Again, thank you to our patrons. Please get the voice messages into us. We'd love to hear from you. Be a bit more connected, I reckon, if we get the voice messages. But
Definitely.
That's the Full Drive Podcast driven by Shelter.
And if you're driving in your car right now and you're listening to it in the morning, good glorious morning.